tired of that. Welcome to the ugly truth.
Until we do. That's the second song.
I know.
I don't even remember the first one anymore.
I don't either. Producer Dub said, he goes, hey, if you guys don't take any breaks, you will hit 800, the show 800 on 420.
Wow.
700 or 800, one of the two. One of the bigger shows.
It must be 700.
I think it's 700.
Because you're at 6 something.
Okay, yes. So he goes, you'll hit 7
something.
He goes, maybe you guys could take gummies. And I'm like,
oh my God, that'd be funny.
I'm like, I'm just doing valerian root.
That's literally all I take.
Valerian root gummies are the bomb for me. I'm afraid that
me too.
I'm afraid that a THC gummy I would not sleep or I'd have scary dreams.
Same.
Because I already have intense dreams. I don't need to have anything enhance me in any way whatsoever. Like,
I'm too much of a control freak.
Hardcore. And so like last night I had a dream about Mackenzie and I driving into a storm of tornadoes.
Fun.
In Daryl's truck. And we were separated and I told Kenzie, I go, everything's gonna be fine. We have our phones. We can talk to Dad. And Dad's like, I'm telling her, Dad's telling us we have to go, or we're stuck and we need to find a place to shelter until the storm's passing. And she's like, okay. And so I'm like, oh my God, we have to go through that. And I was terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified. And I'm like, okay, we're going for it. And I floored it. And it felt like when you and I were in Breckenridge and we drove through that whiteout.
Was so crazy.
What a dumb thing to do.
Well, there were other cars on the road, so I think if you lived there, it was probably...
It was a blizzard whiteout.
I guess it was.
We had no business being on the road.
We didn't
We could have died.
We could have died and definitely crashed.
Two California girls in a whiteout.
They would have been like,
Breckenridge.
what in God's name? You have no business out here.
You're in a Chevy. What are you doing?
It reminds me of when Keanu Reeves was learning how to surf in Point Break. Mm-hmm. And that girl comes out here. She's like, what are you doing? You have no business out here, you fool. She's like, you're going to die. Yes. No, we had no business being where we were.
Oh my God. That's so funny and true. There were a couple of things that I wanted to tell you about. Okay.
That was crazy.
Did you watch the Oscars? I know it feels like a million years ago since the Oscars came out.
Right. It was like a whopping week ago.
God.
But, no, I really did not. I did the TikTok thing. So I've seen.
Yes. So I
think all the things that matter.
I felt like, first of all, the In Memoriam was awful.
Yeah.
They used like Darth Vader music. It was so weird. It was like dun dun dun, and I'm like, wow, no.
Dark.
They're like, we're evoking zero emotion this year, none other than confusion. That was the
they
flavor
left
of the day.
Key people, which they
always do.
They always do. It just makes no sense sometimes. The people they live out, but whatever.
I think they do that to create
controversy.
Yes, I think they do that to get people talking. That's what I think.
Did they mention Gene Hackman
for a lot?
Okay, good.
Yes, a lot.
Did you see their cause of death,
Stephanie? This is the most insane.
Isn't it the craziest thing? Now, the way her dying of Hantavirus is
what?
Wow. I had so many people at work are like, what is, they're all Hantavirus?
It's the mouse disease.
I'm like, I knew what it was.
I did too. That's why I was shocked. She's like,
they live in New Mexico.
She had Hantavirus and then she succumbed to probably a heart attack of some kind.
Well,
it was a heart event.
Will kill you.
I know. But how did
you don't seek medical treatment?
How do you get that?
I don't know.
Well, did they have like chickens or
you know what?
Wild,
they live in New Mexico.
I know, and they were in a rural area.
They were.
But their house, I saw a picture of it. It's a beautiful compound. It's not like it was a dump.
But they're not talking about what was inside of it or what they made. You know what? For all we know, they could have been hoarders. They could have been. You just don't know.
You're
you
right.
know that could come out later. Right now, they're probably trying to respect the family and not have everybody be like, ew.
People are giving so much crap to Gene Hackman's children.
Why?
Because they're not.
They didn't check on them.
That and they're not responding the way you would expect. And I'm like, okay, first of all, the man was 95, which means his children were in their 70s. I think his youngest child is 60 and didn't have much of a relationship with them.
Right.
When he got famous, he kind of ended that familial thing.
He didn't have a great reputation as a human.
He was an amazing actor.
He was.
But that's about all I've heard.
Yeah. I've heard he was kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
So.
And he probably, so to them, they're just like, because I even said, I go, honestly, if Daryl and we had talked about this when we were at dinner the other night. I said, dude, if the two of us, if nobody responded to anything within 2 days, we would have people at our house.
Oh, yeah.
Like
100%.
anyone, no matter what. They would be like, has
these people were
heard?
dead for like 2 weeks.
Stephanie. And she was only 63. She wasn't even
and
old.
I was thinking about that. So she was 63. They were married for 30 years.
I know.
So she was in her 30s when they got married, and he was in his 60s.
Yes.
Who knows how that affected the family at the time? They probably thought she was a gold digger.
Maybe.
And, he met her at a gym.
That's right.
They were working out. He was working out, and she was working out there, or she worked there. So
Okay.
she was just a regular person.
Normal
And they were like,
person.
"Oh, you're gonna like snatch up my dad, and you're 30 years younger."
I didn't hear that there was any animosity.
I don't know.
Against her. It was more. He just did not have a close relationship. They did say they had a fun relationship with him. They were not on the outs.
They weren't enemies or anything.
There was no contact or anything like that. It just was. I mean, being that old,
and he had advanced Alzheimer's, by the way,
Yes.
and nobody knew that. I mean, like you said, the guy was
No.
90-something years old. Clearly, she was his caretaker.
Yes.
She got this thing, and she was probably quite ill
And didn't realize.
I read the symptoms and how you feel. You feel like shit.
She's like, oh, I just. Had
That's
the
why she was
flu.
taking medicine,
Right.
trying to make herself feel better.
I mean, how would she?
And she died.
And how would she think for a second that she had Hantavirus of all the things?
She wouldn't have. But I'm sorry. If I was that ill to where I was chill, she must have had the chill so bad because she had a heater. She was in the
laying on
bathroom
the floor
trying to be warm because she was probably like, freeze. I would probably go to the doctor.
Well,
Just think. I don't know. I might.
All I know is that you're right, and it did occur to me that what I think we're just making guesstimates. We don't know.
Well, I think he died of neglect because he couldn't care for himself after she died.
Well, obviously, he stopped taking medication. He didn't even know she was gone. He didn't know. He didn't even.
Maybe
if he was. Well, they're saying they're like it's clear that she passed away in there and was never disturbed again. The dog was in a kennel and starved to death.
Oh,
They had a dog that she had just picked up from the vet. He was in a kennel because he was recovering from a surgery.
Yeah, poor baby.
And he died because nobody took him out.
He was in there for 10 days.
He starved to death.
Yeah, or dehydrated.
Whichever. And so the fact is
sad.
that he probably wandered around and had no concept of anything.
Oh, I'm sure.
And just finally succumbed to lack of care.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was reading something they're like, you would be amazed how normal this is when you have somebody trying to care for a loved one with Alzheimer's and they're older.
And they have no help.
And they're clearly refused help. And
only in those circumstances can I kind of understand, because if you're famous, even in your oldest time, and no matter what's wrong with you, because you're human, right? You're going to die how you're going to die, and you're going to be old and all that stuff. They still try to preserve their dignity.
Their
so that way when you
reputation.
die, nobody really knows like how fucked up you were for those last 10 years,
Except for Bruce Willis, who is very open about it.
I don't know if I agree with all of that, but okay.
But I mean, I don't think he's like, no, I want people to know. I think he had a say before he started declining.
Really bad,
I think he talked about it.
For sure, he did. Yeah.
But
so I hope they don't. There's this guy I follow on TikTok who, when he first started his TikTok, it's all about being a caregiver and caring for his father, who doesn't have Alzheimer's, but he's 92.
Okay.
And so he does have dementia. He has short-term memory loss and stuff. And in the beginning, I was like, it's really sweet, because he wasn't like using his dad as what's the word I'm thinking of? Like making a mockery out of what was going on just to make money on
He's
TikTok.
like, hey, I'm a caregiver. This is
But
what it's
now,
like.
now he's been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, and his dad's he's obviously old.
Yeah.
And it almost is like that.
Oh,
it's almost like he
exploiting
puts his
him?
dad on display like a circus monkey.
So he's exploiting
And I
him a
hate
bit.
it. And
Yeah,
he used to
that's
be a
not
practicing lawyer in Sacramento. He's quit his practice, so all he does is make
So
TikToks
he's making a lot of
all day.
money.
His wife makes TikToks on the dad, and I'm just like, ugh.
This poor old man.
I hate it. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Well, the only thing I can think is it was one of those things where like she's thinking, no, I got it.
Probably.
And maybe she didn't have it as well as she thought.
No.
And there was nobody who could tell them, no, you don't got it,
Yeah.
and
For sure.
this is what happened. But, I was reading something and it was a nurse and she said, this is not an uncommon occurrence. It happens all the time. Caregivers think they got it and then they die. And then the
Person's alone.
the patient languishes within a week. They're gone.
Yeah.
And this is a very sadly commonplace
That's so
event.
sad.
It just so happens he was famous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really freaking sad.
It is.
I get it because, it's like our mom, she's begged me many times, please don't put me in a home if anything happens. Please take care of me. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
However, when someone has something like Alzheimer's, where there's violence and medical care that you can't take, you don't have the ability to do, you need help. You need help.
Yeah, if you can't afford to have someone like in your home, which is so expensive.
Oh, I talked to somebody about it.
Yeah.
It's $30,000 a month.
Yeah, you couldn't afford it.
No, normal people can't afford it.
And
Medicare does not exist for this.
No, it does not. So you have to put them in a memory care facility because just for their own safety.
It's for safety and also the medical intervention.
How many times have you seen silver alerts in our town where some poor old person has left their home?
I know.
They're being cared for by family and they can't find them because they just walked out the door and nobody noticed.
There was a person who his daughter was caring for her and he escaped regularly.
Yeah.
I remember this. It was in our town and they finally the news came out and talked to her.
Again.
And they're like, "What do you do?" She's like, "Look, he's got Alzheimer's and I'm doing the best I can. I've put locks on the doors. We have cameras, all the things. And he's clearly well cared for. You can see that he's cared for." And she's like, "But he's an adult human who knows some part of his brain knows how to get out."
Oh,
and
for
so
sure.
he keeps leaving.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Have you ever thought about, I don't know, putting him in a memory care facility so he can be safe?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "He's going to get killed."
Yes, or die of like exposure because they didn't find him.
And I know that's very unpopular.
No,
I know it's unpopular.
I get
People
it.
like, "You care for your parents in the house." And I'm like,
Yeah.
to a point.
To a point.
But if they're at a danger and a menace to themselves, it's like you can't. And plus, the first time he gets violent with his daughter, I mean, he can hurt her.
A lot of people I know people who've literally gone through that.
It's horrifying.
You love the person. It doesn't mean you don't. But if they're acting like they're going to harm you,
But
or
you need
someone
help.
you love,
Yes, you just need help. Anyway, with that, yes, poor Gene Hackman. It's not funny.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not funny.
I'm
It
not
was
laughing.
It was such
But
an
it's
odd
insane.
twist.
Everybody's like, "Oh my God, assassins. So assassins came in and killed him." And I'm like, "I don't think so."
No, I knew it wasn't that.
Daryl even said, he goes, "I think I know what happened." And I go, "What happened?" He goes,
It was Hantavirus.
he goes, "She had a heart attack and then he died." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Well, it was close.
yeah." Basically.
But the Hantavirus kind of throws the whole.
That's insanity. Stephanie,
like
you know
the
what?
weirdest thing.
Honestly, when I heard that, the first thing I thought was hoarder. The very first thing I thought was hoarding.
Well, let's just wait and see.
Do you think we'll find out?
I don't. Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll leak.
That really attractive sheriff that's been doing all the press conferences. Have you seen him?
Is he their? He's
like
press
their
guy.
He's their. I think he's like the honcho in their town. The sheriff.
In Santa Fe.
Yes.
No, I have not.
He's not bad.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of our people. As far as men go, I mean, I wouldn't get involved with him romantically or anything like that, but
he's
fine to look at.
okay.
And I'm like, "Sir, well,
I get all my news on.
They raise him right in Santa Fe." Anyway, yeah, he's not bad looking. Speaking of, this has nothing to do with anything, but so Sasha is an absolute hot mess, our dog, and she's on Prozac now.
Okay, is it helping?
The doctor said it takes about 2 months for it to really see if it's going to work. So it's been about a month.
Okay.
I say yes. I say it is working to a degree. Her separation anxiety has improved.
Okay.
But she's absolutely obsessed with Daryl. She cannot be away from him. And I'm like, "This is disgusting."
Yeah.
Like, "What is this?" And he goes, "What?" And I'm like, "This is not appropriate. It's inappropriate." What? And he's like, "Because when he leaves, she cries and she wants nothing to do with me. She won't even look me in the eye. Like, she's insane.
Like, I hate you.
Yeah, she's like, "You're not him." And so anyway, but the Prozac seems to be easing it a smidge. But we've been taking her for a ton of walks. We walk her. Oh yeah. And it's like, if we don't walk her almost every day, she is weird. But if we walk her and she gets her exercise and all that, she seems to be better.
Good.
Yesterday, we decided to go to another park. There's a dog park there that she loves. And in fact, she can smell it. She puts her snout out and she's like,
God, how cute.
"I know we're there." And she starts freaking out. And so we park. Well, the freaking dog park's closed till the 1st of April because they're resodding and they're renovating. Well, there's a lot of bacteria in there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
they have to maintain them.
Yeah, so they're fixing it right now. We're like, "Okay, well, we'll just go for a walk." So we went for a walk. So we're walking back. And Phoenix Park is where we went. Mm-hmm. So along the backside are all these houses that were built probably in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. I know what
and
you're talking
about. They're all the same cookie cutter. It's this tiny little subdivision, but it's premium, really. Mm-hmm. So we're walking by.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, now. And so we're walking down the little walkway towards our car, and there's a guy in his backyard, and he's jumping on the trampoline.
A man?
I thought it was a child at first, but then the closer we got, I'm like, "Oh, that's a grown ass man jumping on a trampoline, topless. He had no shirt on. He had no shirt. He was shirtless." And I was like, that's interesting. And then I'm like, wait a minute. He's nude.
Was he?
Yes. And he was jumping higher and higher. And I'm like,
he was doing it. Ew, you sick.
And I'm like, I don't want to see a weird pee. And I kept walking like, that's disgusting. And I'm like,
isn't that illegal?
It's, I'm sure it's illegal to the point that there's Little League going on.
Oh my
and there's
God, that
children. And he's
trucker.
literally right next door to the park. A public
You know what?
park.
I wonder if he does this all the time.
I think he does, and I'm like, you're disgusting. Like this is like 1970s streaker shit.
It makes me
this
mad.
Is so gross. Like I want to punch you, and you have no ass. By the way, he was not an attractive.
They don't care.
They don't. There's nothing to look at.
No, I know. I'm starting to understand people who do these types of things.
It's so disgusting.
Not understand it like on a personal level,
perverted,
but just
obviously.
realizing that a lot of people do this type of shit and like the fuck, you know? I mean,
I'm so disgusted by it, and I'm like, you know what? And I averted my eyes because I'm like, I'm not letting you look at my face because I know you're going to put that in the vault, and I have no interest in being a part of your world.
I told you I got exposed. Somebody exposed themselves to me.
When?
Oh gosh, this is when I worked in Woodland, and I was commuting back and forth between Woodland and Sac, and I used to take the back roads home along the river, and there was a guy who I was on a 2-lane highway. It's very, very desolate. It was light outside. It wasn't like it was dark or anything, and he was tailgating me, like, and it was pissing me off. So I'm like, just fucking go around. Like, we're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Go. So he did. He passed me, and I was like, God, finally, because it was a long ass way before I was going to get home, and I was like, this is going to be annoying. So he passed me, goes barreling down the road. Bye. I'm just cruising along, doing my thing. I come up around a blind corner that's been there forever.
Yeah.
And he's pulled over, and he's facing oncoming traffic, which is me. And I thought he was peeing. I thought he was going to the bathroom. Like, I'm like, what kind of a fucking idiot pulls over to pee and faces oncoming traffic on the roadside? Didn't even go over to the passenger side. God. And I'm telling my boss about this the next day. She's a lady, and she's married to a cop. And I'm like, what kind of a moron does that? She's like, Stephanie. She's like, he wasn't peeing. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, he was exposing himself to you. And I'm like, I was so, what?
I'm so naive. Naive.
She goes, you need to call and report that to the police. And I'm like, wait,
what? Who? For what? He's long gone.
It was yesterday, you know?
God.
Like, so she's like, you need to, you never know. What if it's been happening all over the place? What if he turns into a rapist?
That's
you know?
True.
She wasn't wrong. No.
Oh.
Hell no. That was way too much effort than I wanted to put in.
Come on. I just want to forget. If he does it again, I'll say something.
I would have run him over.
Dude.
No, I don't know what I would have done.
I was watching. I will do it. It's not my fave, but Daryl prefers to walk with me when I go for walks with Sasha.
Yeah.
And so, but sometimes it just can't happen. So Sasha and I went for a walk, and we have one of those retractable leashes. Mm-hmm. So the handle is like super duper hard plastic, and you can hold it like a brass knuckles.
Yes.
And so I'm walking. I really need to relax my imagination when I'm out and about. It's a little excessive. It always has been, though. So I'm walking.
Like mine.
And I'm like, honestly, if a man had the audacity to approach me, I would punch him so hard with this thing, and I would not stop. I go, and then I went even further. I'm like, I'd bite his neck. I'd bite his neck out. I'd make him bleed out right here.
I'd
on
get a
Winding
jugular
Way.
in my teeth.
Yeah.
And grind it.
I'm so over men doing shit like this.
I've noticed your TikToks have gotten a little like, because is today Women's Empowerment Day?
Yesterday was.
Oh, yesterday, yes. So I saw your one of your TikToks, and
I'm a little angry.
Laughing.
I know.
I'm like, how is this woman so happily married, and she hates every other male on the planet?
Well, you just nailed it.
I'm like, how is it possible?
Because he's an ally, Stephanie.
No, I know. It's just
I
weird.
don't know.
You know what I mean?
Know what? I go through I go through phases.
Oh, I'm with you, Jamie. I feel the exact same way.
I know. And I go through phases, and I'm like, TikTok's a nice, well, for everybody, the doom scrolling is, the thing is with algorithms and social media, I'm just constantly trying to find something dorky and goofy and funny.
Something
and
lighthearted.
Sometimes it's so freaking hard to find.
I know. It's like it reads your mind.
I found.
I'm like, how does this thing read my mind?
Seriously. I found, well, like during the Oscars, for example, there's like 2 or 3, and I shared them with you. 2 or 3 people that I love their reviews on fashion.
Me too.
Like,
one of them we mutually like, right?
We like the same. And he's all Slade, totally stay, whatever. He's like, whatever, fire and whatever. I love him. And I love him because it's the one word thing and he just moves on.
And I love the way.
that.
Oh no, not that guy.
Which one?
The one that I liked that I sent you. I love the way he pronounces the names of the dresses. He's like, she's wearing Oscar de la Renta.
I love him so.
I'm like, how do you? I'm like, you must speak French.
When I first started watching him, he had like no views.
Really?
None. And I'm like,
the long haired guy, right?
Yeah. Oh God, I love him so much.
I do too.
And he's amazing. And he's like
so good.
Givenchy.
The way he says
Armani Privé.
Yeah, right.
He's like, no, I love this for her. Now this is Chanel. And I'm like, why can't we be friends?
Right.
Why can't I know you?
I just don't like the belt. It's just not doing anything
He's like,
for you.
You know, another bow.
Yeah. And I don't love the necklace, but that's fine.
He's like, but you know how I feel about clutches. He's like, I just don't love the clutch. He's like, and where's the jewelry? I'm like,
I just love him. He's got
so
he's in my mind. Like
Constantly.
He says what I'm thinking. Yes.
Schiaparelli.
He's doing a thing right now because
so the flashbacks.
Yes. Because the award shows are kind of we're done. They're pretty much done.
Yes,
yeah.
we're
So
done.
now he's like, well, shit. What am I going to make a TikTok
He's
about?
got to wait for the premieres to start.
So he's doing like vintage shoes.
Oh my God,
and
I'm
living for it.
And it's funny in the comments, people be like, I don't know, I still wear these. And he's like, and you should. Like, there's a reason why we loved these back then, you know? But like some of them, I'm like, Tory Burch, anything, I'm like, gross. I just don't like it. This reminds me of old lady. I know it's not, but it's just not. I'm not
some people feel that way about Chanel, and it depends on what it is.
Yeah, that's true. It does age people, though. Chanel can age. Yeah. And it's not great.
It's old money.
I suppose. Yeah, that's true.
So.
I just don't think I'd ever be in a tweed blazer and skirt.
No, and that's not my style either.
No, but that's very Upper East Side woman with
it is
generational wealth.
I would not mind like a $5,000 vintage quilted bag. I would take one of those with a chain strap.
I mean, that would do.
I would be fine with
that.
That
would be all right.
Why are they so damn? Oh my God, they're expensive.
I don't know. I think it's because they're.
Well, you have a YSL and it's beautiful, by the way, but I could never, I don't want to be satisfied with just one.
I know.
I want many.
Yeah. You know what? At some point you need to go to my sister-in-law's house and see her collection.
Oh, I wouldn't.
You would love it. You would love it.
I'd be just jealous.
No, you would be but it's so fun just to see. It's fun to see.
She doesn't have a Hermes, does she?
She doesn't like those.
A Birkin?
No.
Oh.
No, she's big on Chanel and Dior. She has a lot of Chanel.
They're just woman after my own heart.
But she's like, these are an investment for my children. These are for my daughters. Okay, and I'm like,
sure.
Yeah, pass them on, you know?
Absolutely.
It's wonderful to do that.
Hey, you know what? If that's what she wants to spend her money on and it brings her joy, yes. I am so all about it.
Me too.
I really don't give a fuck.
I have no judgment whatsoever. I'm like, go girl, do it.
You know, I mean, we as women,
she works her ass off.
We suffer every day.
I slave and suffer.
And we do.
It's true.
Every fiber of our being is sucked at some point. The leeches of our lives.
All day, every day.
I'm telling you. So if you can get a little joy,
just a smidge
that you earned,
right?
Take it.
Yeah, it's true. They take everything eventually.
They take everything.
I said that to Daryl. I'm like,
they take your body, they take your mind, they take your money,
your time,
everything,
your
sanity,
all of it. Then pretty soon they're like, why do you look so old?
I know, right?
I saw this thing.
It sent me paunchy and tired.
Pamela Anderson has been trying to really push her natural look.
I know, and I'm over it.
And you know what? I would be fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
But her skin needs moisture. Like, she looks dry. And I'm like,
it's almost like she's exaggerating it.
I'm like, she needs moisture. She needs to have, and maybe it's because of all the tanning she did. I'm unsure, but what I would love to see, if you want to go all natural, fine. But then if you're going to be a celebrity and go all natural, you really need to have just the most pristine skin care. You know, like you need moisturizing, you need, the whatever. You need to look balmy and glowy and dewy. And I know that doesn't mean just youth. I mean, her skin looks dry. She needs
like I said, it's almost like she's doing now. It's
hydrofacial.
It's become her shtick. You know, it's like her thing. And okay, great.
Yes,
because I'm all about promoting women's natural beauty and like, look, we're tired of being objectified and blah blah blah.
Well, the thing is, that, like I said, with that, her skin needs some. I think her skin needs a little. Maybe she looks amazing in person, and it's just
I'm sure she does.
Cameras and stuff that make her skin look like that.
Bethany Frankel says like one of the number one comments she gets when she's out in public is people are like, "You're so much prettier in person." And she laughs about it. She's like, I don't give a shit, because I think she truly doesn't give a shit.
No.
But a lot of I'm like that.
You can see how pretty she is, really, if you
No,
look
she
at her.
is. You know, the only concern I have for Bethany Frankel is she doesn't fucking eat. And she's a
You're
liar.
right. I know.
I'm tired of it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
quit going on here and talking about your chicken salad and your caviar. You don't fucking eat, bitch. You're like 90 pounds wet.
And like she takes, those are the 2 bites of the day.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all she eats.
And the caviar.
Which has no calories in it.
No, it doesn't. And I would be cool with Pam Anderson continue. I'm fine with it anyway, but I wish she would just like can her hair and her skin be a little more coiffed? Like, can we, cause like, you know how much I hate Alicia Keys. I'm not a fan.
No, I didn't know.
I mean, she's annoying to me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why. I think it was,
You don't have to have a reason.
there was something about
We
her.
listen and we don't judge.
Was it when she was on The Voice? Was she on The Voice?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it
Or
was
was it
then.
American Idol? Well, wait, one of them.
Okay.
Either.
Whatever.
Maybe both. Who knows?
And I found her beyond faux and annoying, and I just didn't like her. And she's like, "No, I'm going no makeup. I'm going
really,
natural."
She really loves herself. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fine, but you're not all natural. I can see it on your face.
Right.
That's not natural, bitch."
Yeah. Stop.
But I will hand it to her. Her skin was flawless.
Yeah.
And her hair was flawless. And her clothes were flawless.
She's got a ton of money and she's black.
Pam Anderson is also flawless, but her hair looks like old French maid hair. Like, can we just
looks dry
do
and
something
strawish.
with it? Can you not? I mean, can we just look like I just flew in from LA and I just didn't give a shit? I'm like, can we give it a little shit?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. By
I
the
don't
way.
know. I know I'm being judgy about a woman,
No, not at all. That's
whatever.
what we do. Who cares?
I know. Well, I'm pretty hard on myself, so I figure
my
if I
God,
can be hard on
Jamie.
myself, you can be hard. I can be hard on everybody
We're
else.
so hard on ourselves.
Whatever. Anyway, I just want more for her so badly.
Well, we were talking about. We were texting about Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. She was on SNL last night.
Oh, she was.
She looks so good.
Finally.
Oh my God.
We were talking about how hideous she'd been looking lately.
I'm dying to listen to her album that just came out. I just haven't had a chance.
Okay.
But I hear it's just classic Lady Gaga.
Have you
Can't
listened
wait.
to Jessica Simpson's
I have heard snippets, Stephanie, and
The new song?
I'm struggling.
Oh, well, I haven't listened to it.
I'm struggling.
That's how much I was like, I know.
I don't want to hear it because I don't want to hate it.
Just reading the lyrics, I was like, okay, intriguing. I love that she's doing a revenge song.
Same.
But I know if I actually listen to the song, it's not going to be, it's not going to live up to my.
I really, really want, I want everything for Jessica Simpson.
Me too.
That woman has been through it almost as much as Britney Spears.
real.
Almost. I mean,
But
her family life is pretty crazy.
It is. And it's hard for me to feel too sorry for her because she's literally a billionaire.
I know.
Self-made.
I know. And I'm proud of her for that.
So.
But I don't, and she's so, okay. She's sober in that she doesn't drink alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
I'm unsure about anything else.
Is she California sober?
I don't think she smokes pot. I just, the
Maybe
thing
she
I
takes
try to
pills?
remember, is that when she was really super young and I fell in love with her when she did the Nick and Jessica show.
Yeah.
That's when I fell in love with her. Newlyweds. And she does talk.
I'm just kidding.
She does
It's
talk.
newlyweds, but I said newlywoods. I'm like, newlywoods?
Newlyweds. She does talk with a little bit of a slower drawl, a little bit.
Well, she's Southern. She's
So
from
she
Louisiana.
sounds Texas. And
Oh,
so
she's
she
Texas?
does sound like.
Oh, Brittany's Louisiana. My bad.
Yes, so she does sound a little slow on the uptake when she talks. She's a brilliant woman though, so it has nothing to do with that. So when she, like, I saw her promote, she's like, "Hi, second album. I'm really excited about this." She sounds like her mouth is moving at like 3 miles an hour.
It's almost slurish.
It is slurish, but she's always talked like that. So I have to remember that. But she does have a unique look now.
Well, she's done a lot of plastic surgery.
She's done a lot of lip filler, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's also incredibly thin currently.
Well, she lost a ton of weight.
She did, and
I didn't think she needed to, but okay. Well, she got chubby when she had her last child.
Well, she was also an alcoholic,
And she was an alcoholic.
so she was very puffy.
But
I do feel like
why must we go from one extreme to another?
I think that I think just like you said, I think she's a control freak like a lot of us, and I think that she feels good when she can control things.
Well, addicts are very much like that. They take everything to the extreme.
Obviously, I hope that she's healthy physically. I mean,
me
she's
too.
very, very small right now, but whatever, as long as she's happy and
I think
healthy.
she's admitted to having an eating disorder in the past.
She
I can't
has.
remember.
Yes,
yeah,
she
but like you
has.
said, yeah, you're right. She's been through a lot.
I have not listened to her album or the songs.
I haven't either. Well, we should do it. We need to do it.
She has a great voice.
She does. It's
She
just
does.
I don't know if she's the one that's in charge of her music selections, like what she sings?
I don't know.
Because if she's the one that's making calling the shots, then she needs to let somebody else do it.
I think she's writing. I think she
does write, and she's a decent writer.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the lyrics are hard fucking core.
Oh, I gotta listen to it.
Oh my God,
Okay.
the lyrics
I'll
are
listen.
crazy. She's like, I would rather die than have you be inside me thinking about her.
He cheated on her?
Yes.
Asshole.
Uh-huh.
God, fucking football players.
Yes.
I swear to God. Does that ever concern you with Taylor and Travis?
Yes.
Like he's gonna, me too.
I don't think he's gonna cheat on her.
He said his ex, when they first got together and they asked her about it, his ex, she goes, well, I hope she likes cheating.
He's
and
not
like,
gonna cheat
God
on her.
damn.
He would not cheat on her because of the Swifties and
I don't
the
know.
amount of press that she there is just no way he could get away with it. And why would he? It would make him the most hated man on the planet. If you want to cheat and you want to have sex with someone else and you're dating Taylor Swift, you break up.
She's been cheated on many times.
I know, but their relationship is on another level.
He has
in
to
the
marry
media.
at this point, right?
Well,
God forbid.
I don't know. I'm sure he probably wants to.
You think he does?
Yes.
You think he's the one that wants to get
Yes.
hitched? You think she's like, I don't know.
Yes. I think she's like, I could literally do whatever I want. She's never been more powerful in her life. Ever. This woman could walk on water. She could literally fly to the moon.
Doesn't she kind of?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for her, and I personally think Maddie Healy was a rebound, but I think Travis is too. So I just,
we'll see.
You know what? One thing I will say about her, she's really, really good at showing us what she wants to be shown and keeping private what she wants to keep private.
Yeah, she is very good at that. It takes a lot of work and effort.
Oh my God, so much.
But she's good at it.
Yeah, she's very good at it. She's got a good team behind her. So it's really, no one knows if what they have is real. No one knows anything,
Oh my God. Did you hear? So Ben Affleck keeps trying to re-dip in the wells of the gens.
I see.
I'm so sick of him.
With Jennifer Gardner?
Leave these poor women alone.
I know.
God.
I thought she had someone. That must have gone away.
They got divorced. But it's like, can you please leave the gens alone? Like, I mean, I know that J-Lo is not respected in many circles. I will always be a fan of Jennifer Lopez. And I think he fucked her over
I do too.
hard. Twice.
Yeah.
And she feels like a fool.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her.
I know,
I would be
right?
mad.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, please sign an NDA. Don't talk about this. And she's like, you asshole, fine. But I'm telling you what, you're lucky that I'm a billionaire.
Well, the only reason why.
Because if I wasn't, I would sell my soul to the press over
for
you.
sure. Well, she has children and that she's trying to protect too.
And his children.
Well, right. But I was going to say with Jen Gardner, that's his baby mama.
I know.
And I can see why. And I think she really loved him. I think he left her for, he was an alcoholic terribly.
Yeah, and he cheated on her with a nanny.
Yeah.
Disgusting
he
pig.
did that thing.
He's such a pig.
And now she kind of feels sorry for him.
Well, who doesn't? Look at him.
But I mean, he's fine. He was
fine.
producing something with Matt Damon, and what did they produce? It was something big. It's on Amazon Prime or whatever.
Right.
It's a show.
Oh yeah.
But they're fine. They're making lots of money, and
and I hope someone finally goes to him. It's like, you know what, Ben, you're not a cute 20-year-old anymore. You're an old man, and you look
kind of.
pathetic.
Yeah,
Leo,
right?
Why don't you and Leo go?
What really pisses me off about the whole thing, speaking of, we're gonna man bash, I guess, these men go through these relationships so publicly, and they and they always are unscathed. They don't lose work.
Nope.
They keep working, they keep making money, like nobody but women,
Oh
God forbid. When was the last time Jennifer Gardner made something successful where she probably made $20 million?
Right.
It's been forever.
She has a farm now.
I know, I love it.
I do too. I mean, she works for Capital One, but like you said, she's not an Academy Award winner.
But he's still doing all the things.
Oh, please, Stephanie, if Mel Gibson can continue a career, anyone can.
Kevin Costner, for God's sakes. This man has like 25 lives.
I hate that guy so bad.
How many times can he come back from a bad divorce where he treated a woman like shit?
Do you know when I literally
made Yellowstone?
When I literally turned my mind off of Kevin.
That's why you don't watch Yellowstone, huh?
It is, number one.
I know.
And you know why? Because he banged Jewel. And ever since then, she's been a fucking nut job.
She looks like shit. She did a TikTok yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you know
what's
what?
happening?
Well, I don't want to get into it. Because I know everything about her, because I was like her number one fan for my whole 20s.
I know.
But she has changed politically, and she's gotten a little crazy.
She's a Trumpy?
Yes.
I did not know that.
She's very much in bed with RFK. She's very anti-vax. She's very mental health with exercise shit.
Well, I can't with that, but
I can't either.
And I never.
And it doesn't matter. But it all started when she started fucking Kevin Costner, that asshole. I blame him.
She's from Alaska, for God's sakes, Jamie. It's not that far of a stretch. I have never lived my life based on what a celebrity endorses or believes in.
Of course not.
They're just people. I don't care if just because you like this or you're going to vote for this person or you're going to. I don't. What you do is not going to have anything to do with what I do.
What I resent is the lies. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. We don't know. Like, this has been going on since the beginning of time. People lie to
how many
make
actors
money
in the 50s and 60s were gay?
I was just going to say.
And they couldn't say it, or lesbian, and because it was forbidden.
Do you know it's still like that?
It's to a point, yeah.
There's still people, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but I mean, there's so many things about life that we don't like that are unfair.
All I'm saying, regardless of my personal feelings on anyone, I appreciate the honesty. Period.
Yeah, I guess
because you know what? Although you and I may not live our lives according to celebs, a lot of people do.
I know,
and so it's good. So it's good. Let it be known so that people can go, oh, well. Because they used to be like, oh, well, I like the song, but he's a pedophile. It's like, can you separate? Can you separate the art from the person?
It depends on what it is. Pedophilia, no, I cannot.
Of course not.
But religion, yes.
Of course.
I don't give a fuck what you are.
Although I don't like Candace Burrell, but other than that.
Candace Burrell? Oh, wasn't she on Full House? Yeah. I don't give a shit.
I didn't even know she was still working.
Yeah, she does.
I had no idea.
They all make Hallmark Channel movies now.
Oh, no, she left the Hallmark Channel. That was far too liberal for her.
Liberal?
Yeah.
Well, they have a little bit of everything for that.
Well, they had gay people on it, so she couldn't participate any longer. When I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, mother, whatever you say.
That's true, huh? I forgot about that.
That's kind of my point. It's not liberals hating religious people. It's the other way around, usually forever. And now people are finally going, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I am conservative. And I'm like, good for you.
Great.
Go for it.
There's a lot of that going around now.
I'm fine with it. I really am fine with it. I saw something the other day. When you become an adult and you choose to drink alcohol, your taste in alcohol changes and you go through phases. I go through these hyper fixations of cocktails. Mm-hmm. And then once I'm done with them, I let them go. And I never want to drink it again. Are you like that?
I have gone through, but my phases of being stuck on something are a lot longer than yours. Well, I pretty much drank Crown Royal for like 15 years straight.
I did too.
And then I drank Grand Marnier for a good 10.
Just straight Grand Marnier?
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I love it.
Do you put it on the rocks at least?
No,
you drink a shot.
I drink it like a shot. Yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't drank it in 15 years.
I feel like it tastes like Robitussin.
It's orange liqueur. It's very sweet.
Triminic, I mean.
Yes, it does taste like Triminic.
That's why you like it.
I don't know why I liked it. It was kind of like it was a moment for me when I discovered it. I was going through a phase when I was newly with Jerry.
Yes,
and we were kind of finding our own identity apart from being divorced.
Yeah,
and
you're like, this'll do.
No, he introduced me to it. He's like, they lit it on fire, which they do in a snifter.
Oh.
And so it flames, and then the flame goes out, and then you drink it quickly because it's a little bit warm. Oh. And it kind of takes that sweetness off because it burns off some of the sugar.
Right.
And I loved it. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking delicious. Oh and God. I hadn't drank anything like it before.
I've never drank anything
so that I wanted it all the time. And then it became our thing. Every time we went on vacation, every time we went somewhere, it was like, that was what I would drink.
And God. No, I don't
puke
know.
on that stuff. And
oh, I don't even want to think about it.
I was practically hospitalized.
The first alcohol that I remember was like wine coolers.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't even really like them. I didn't think they were that great. They have that weird metallic.
When you're young, don't you just drink because you can and you want to see what it's going to do to you?
I think I was 18, and I was drinking homemade wine coolers at some party. They were okay. It was like Kool-Aid.
We used to drink Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
And what was that other stuff? Zima.
I never liked Zimas.
I did.
I barely remember. You know what? I don't think I even.
It was like Sprite with the kick.
I did drink those.
Everybody drank them.
It was wine coolers, and then after that, I
Bartles and James
went through a Coors Light phase.
Oh yeah,
which isn't even alcohol.
That's who you were dating at the time.
Exactly. And then when I started getting to hard alcohol,
and we have the right to say other women like they have their identity based on we drank based on who we were with.
Oh God! And then margaritas. So El Torito was a thing.
Oh, I loved El Torito.
And their Rosarita margarita was the very first margarita I had when I was 21. And after that, that's all I ate.
What
that's
did
all
we
I
drink
drank.
when we went out? Because we had a phase where we were going out when I turned 21.
Was it Long Island?
I think you were 22 or 3.
Were we drinking Long Islands together?
Oh, God, were we?
I think so. I think we were.
We went to America Live.
I'll have a Long Island iced tea.
Oh, God, gross.
I think we did. I think we did because we really couldn't afford to just buy and buy and buy. So we're like, let's just get one really good strong drink and that'll be it.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost positive that's what
You're
we
probably
did.
right. I literally have no memory of that.
We were very frugal in our drinking.
Well, we had no money. We were broke.
We were so poor.
Plus, you and I, whenever we went out, we were not necessarily going out to get shit-faced.
No, we were just going out to be out.
To be.
Yeah, we never were out to, we had no mission.
No.
We just gambled about like little
like,
lost.
what's there to see in the world?
children.
We haven't seen anything because we've been living. We've
anything.
been forced to live in a cage
We
for the
thought
last
Sacramento's America Live was
21
the place
years. Oh
to
my God.
find life.
Well, it was. To be fair.
Yes, we had many adventures.
And what was the Paradise? What was the other one?
Paradise Beach.
Yeah, that was the other.
That's where I got thrown out, and I didn't even do anything.
You got thrown. Was I with you? Or you were somebody else?
No, you were with me. You and I are the only ones that went out together. I didn't go out with anybody. I just remember there was.
We didn't have friends, just like now.
Hey, we were each other's friends. So it was fine.
No, but I mean, we didn't have friends like outside of our.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I had a couple, but no, not really. Well, we had kids. We were so young. So when we had
must have been a couple of real like, oh yeah, hi, how are you? Hi, I have a 2-year-old. They're like, ugh. Oh my God.
What are you doing out here? Don't you have to go home?
Seriously.
And be a mother?
I don't want to date you. I don't even want to go home with you tonight. You have a child.
Crazy.
Anyway.
But yeah, you and I were at Paradise Beach. There was some kind of melee. And I was standing close to the bar, but I was just standing there doing nothing. And I was like watching. I was like, oh my God. And the bartender out of nowhere grabbed me around the neck and he pulled me.
He must have thought you looked like somebody.
Over the bar, like onto the bar. And then he like made a signal
Get
to
the
have
bouncers.
to get her out of here, and somebody grabbed me and threw me out. I'm like, and here's the problem. This is always the problem when you're unfairly targeted.
Oh yeah, you lose your mind.
And I was intoxicated.
Duh.
So you really can't plead your case.
Yeah,
it's so hard to do.
Listen to you.
You're like, I don't know. And then I felt like Rain Man. I go, he grabbed and pulled my neck. And I didn't do anything. And I go, please. I go, I didn't do anything. And he goes, and I go, I want to speak to the manager.
Oh God. Like another, no, not that it's a bad
so the
thing. I
manager
understand,
came out.
but-
Oh no, it was ridiculous. In my brain, I knew I sounded ridiculous. I knew that this was a no-win.
It's like people who beg the police when they've stolen. They're like, please don't take me to jail. Just let me go. And they're like, no.
But the thing is, it's like,
wait, just listen. I need to tell you something.
they went and got the manager.
Well, that's good.
And so I must have looked honest,
Desperate.
or something. And he comes out, he goes, hey, what's up? And it's some, 30-year-old guy. who's
Barely,
like,
yeah.
It's Saturday night. I just want to I want this to end. I want my
Right.
shift to be over.
You don't know how many piles of puke I've already cleaned
Like,
up
I don't want to
tonight.
do this anymore, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, what's up? And I just remember him vividly having too long of hair and a Tommy Bahama shirt on. And
Him?
I just,
I thought you
manager.
meant you. I'm like, you were wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt? Okay, never
Good
mind.
God. And so I go, hey, I was unfairly removed from your establishment and I didn't do anything. He grabbed me and threw me out and I don't even know why. Like he goes, well, you must have done something. He never would have done it for no reason. I go, I am telling you.
I did nothing.
I did nothing. And I go, and my sister's inside and I need to get her.
Oh, okay. No wonder.
And they're like, you're not coming in. And we didn't have phones back then.
No.
It was like late 90s.
No.
And so I'm like, ugh. I go, well, what? And he's
No,
like,
it's
you're just
early
going to have to
90s.
wait. You're going to have to wait. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. And I'm like, I know I sound intoxicated right now, but I didn't do anything. I go,
Sorry.
I don't even know how I got involved. Like it hadn't. And I think you're right. I think he thought I was somebody else.
Oh, definitely.
And it wasn't. Oh God, I was so furious at him. And he was a large man. I'm like, you could have hurt me.
Oh, back in the day, you got away with assaulting people.
Right?
Totally.
I'll never forget that. It's imprinted on my brain.
Oh my God. Yeah. Nowadays, that would not happen. Not like that, at least.
No.
You can't put your hands on anyone anymore. You know
I
what
wouldn't
mean?
want to.
I wouldn't either, but I'm saying, like, if somebody put their hands on you, primarily a man, for any reason that wasn't a police officer, they'd be in big trouble.
They call it assault now.
Oh, God,
Just
yes.
like putting their
Yeah.
finger on you. It's so different.
Well, I have put myself in such dangerous situations
Same.
where I should have been dead, raped, whatever.
Right?
And I'm like, God, darn it. How did I?
God darn it. Are you trying
I'm
to
trying-
Are you trying to moderate your mouth?
Yes.
Why?
Because I have such a bad mouth.
Have you been swearing a lot at work?
I swear a lot all the time.
I
All
guess
the time.
I
And my
call
son
it-
had a fit the other day and said something, said the F word to me.
God dang it. I
You do it, Mom.
I go through I call them sailor phases.
Mm-hmm.
I go through sailor phases where for whatever reason my brain has unlocked and everything is F or C or shit or whatever. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why. And then I go through phases where I never, ever, ever, ever
all.
swear. No profanity
Yeah.
whatsoever. Anyway, all right.
Anyway.
Well, that's the show.
Leave on a chipper note.
Chipper note, everyone.
I want the chipper chicken.
Oh, God.
I love that movie.
I love that. It was on the other day.
I own it, so I watch it whenever.
Dun, dun,
It
dun,
never
dun,
gets
dun,
fucking
dun.
old to me, that movie.
I just love that house.
I just love the whole thing. Yeah.
It's so great. That whole thing.
Yeah.
The swans in the tub. The ridiculous the cack. All of it. I never liked the
Right.
mother.
Oh, what's her name?
Can't think of her name right now.
Damn it.
Not Diane Wiest. Who's another.
Diane.
She's the other one I struggle with.
Yeah.
I struggle with Diane Wiest, but I like her more
I like
than.
her eyes are just really squinty.
Which I don't mind. She's actually a better actress to me.
Yeah. She
say that out
yeah, she is a better actress. She has her role, like she's always a certain kind of character.
She's the Footloose mom.
pretty much.
Love her.
And she's pretty much like that role. And
I don't like that she has such short hair, but that's her choice. She can do it.
Diane Keaton.
Diane Keaton.
And
Ugh.
she always has kind of short hair too.
Diane
It's longer than
Keaton-
Diane Wiest's, but
Diane Keaton does the football helmet a lot.
yeah, she does.
When she was really young and she was doing all the Woody Allen movies, she was different. She
Yeah,
had long,
she
youthful
did.
hair. But
I
now
wonder
it's
if she
just
tried to
this,
shed that
it's
personality.
just this little brown bob with.
Did you watch that movie with her with Jack Nicholson where he was dating her daughter? Yeah,
Yes.
I thought that was kind of a funny movie.
It's a good movie. That's where the what do they call it? Coastal grandma came from. The coastal grandma aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
The house, the clothes,
Got
all of
it.
that's coastal grandma.
Oh, I did
And
not
we
know.
all strive for that life, of
Yeah.
course. In what world do you want to not have to wear a white sweater and sit on your
Cashmere
white couch
likely.
staring at
the ocean, you know, in the
getting ready to prepare your full glass walled kitchen
right,
with Jack Nicholson?
and have a glass of white wine, and you
God,
know,
I hate white wine. I would never.
I do too. But
I
they
could never. That could never be me.
well, we don't have. There's not enough money on the planet.
It's not even
That
about
is-
money.
It's not even. Jamie,
I
it's
would-
about
Stephanie,
that's
no.
like Nantucket. That would be like a $10 million house in real life.
Are
like,
you telling me that if you had a $10 million home that you would have a brown bob? Seriously? You wouldn't. You'd be like, I'm not doing this. I'm getting my crown.
No, I wouldn't have a brown
That's what I'm
bob.
talking- that's what I
Oh, I
mean.
thought you meant like you couldn't do that life.
No,
I'm like, I could.
No, I could do the life. I couldn't do the aesthetic.
Okay, got it.
That aesthetic makes me sick.
Yes.
I
Have you
couldn't
ever
do
watched that movie with what's her name? It's called Dear John. It kind of reminds me of a young version. Yeah, it's Amanda Seyfried. Seyfried. How do you say her last name?
Yeah.
Remember, she was the daughter in Big Love.
I know who she is.
And
I need-
she meets that guy. She meets Channing Tatum on the beach, and he's on
Oh,
leave from the
okay.
army,
I do know
special forces.
I know the movie.
Okay, you
I
gotta
have
watch
not
it.
seen. The
I had
whole
never
movie.
seen it. I think it's older shit. People are like, "Oh my god, that movie was like 1995."
Is it
Like,
good?
I liked it.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those movies that I kind of fell into.
Yeah, that
and I just
happens.
happened to start watching it at the beginning, so I
Yeah.
didn't miss anything. And I'm like, "What is this shenanigans?" The guy, I was like, "Who is this dude that she's talking to?" Because he's fucking gorgeous. I was like,
Channing.
"Who is this?"
Channing.
I had to
He's
look
cute.
it up.
Yeah,
I
he's
was
a
like,
cutie pie.
He was hot.
I don't like blondes, but he is cute.
I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
Totally my thing. So.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
anyway. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another show. Goodbye.